The Martin Lindstrom Video Report. New and innovative ways of building brands.
This week I'm with Robert, the general manager of the Bulgari resort in Bali. And I decided to ask him about what the journey was, basically migrating from a jewelry brand, a luxury jewelry brand which had been around for more than 100 years, to become a resort brand which now exists in Bali, where I am right now, in Milano, and they have a restaurant in Tokyo. And here's what he said. Robert, tell me, what was the process you went through in translating the jewelry brand into a resort brand?
Well, it was a very exciting project. First of all, it took a deeper understanding of the mother brand, the history, where they're coming from, what was their vision. Then the hotel brand was created, and elements of the mother brand were of course put inside the hotel brand. I.e., we had to be true to Bulgari as a mother brand. So yes, we had our own store with our own watches and our own resort unique items. Of course, the amenities in the room were Bulgari branded, but it went way beyond that because we also had to have a sense of belonging. So we had to translate that into Bali, being true to Bali. So number one, through its people, its cultural, and really its heritage. We had an advisory group that helped us create this resort, consisting of local people here living in Bali, being Balinese, an Italian crew living in Bali. The top person in Bulgari from Rome was part of that group, and together we made sure that we were true to ourselves and others, which is also our motto.
What did you learn in that process? What was the thing surprising you in translating a brand into a resort?
The guests were surprised because they would expect to find a jewelry store where somebody would peek through a window if you were worthy of coming in, like in the old days. And instead they found a very welcoming team that was not very scripted but governed by core values such as authenticity, being true to who you are. So it was a nice surprise because you would still find your Bulgari elements in there, but you would also see the beauty of Bali where people are truly hospitable and natural. And I think that was really the difference, because we are on the most southern part of the Bukit in Bali, so we're quite far away from everywhere. So people would expect to find some things that are truly Balinese. And of course they were stunned by the design. Italian designer Citerio, who truly immersed himself in local materials, local feelings and flavors. Same token, the design is definitely contemporary and makes a statement.
So what can we learn from the general manager of the Bulgari Resort Hotel in Bali? I think there's three things. Point number one, if you want to migrate into a whole new category, you have to be careful about translating the values. And that's exactly the reason why they had a local committee of local people from Bali, as well as people from international locations, helping to make that translation become a reality. And on one hand, be true to the brand, another hand to be true to the local environment. Point number two, interesting stuff, because one thing Robert told me was that they actually spend a lot of time on making sure this becomes a true sensory experience. One of the things they've done is that actually where I am right now, they had a Japanese DJ creating local music for each of the different locations across the hotel. That means that the environment and the feeling they wanted to convey at that particular moment is conveyed via the sensory experience, in this case the music. And it's very interesting because that is basically a way to make sure that a jewelry brand suddenly becomes alive. The third thing they decided to do was to make sure they changed some of the core values as well. The Bulgari brand has been well known for being a closed brand, as he said, that you had to look through the window and be approved to become a customer. That has changed. And of course, in that translation process, some people may be very surprised. But I think, on the other hand, this is a good way to adjust the brand. So it's not necessarily stuck on a track where basically you're well known for something which may not fit into the 21st century. And building a resort in this case probably showed up to be the right answer. I hope you enjoyed my brand flash here from Bali. I'll continue my journey around the world, but see you next week where I'm going to be in a new, exciting place learning new about brand stuff. See you then.
The Martin Lindstrom Video Report. New and innovative ways of building brands.